Right, we're going to have a look at adding and subtracting surds. These are already surds set up of the same form, so they're both square root of 3 here. Now if I wanted to add together 5 root 3 and 2 root 3, just think of that as 5 lots of A plus 2 lots of A. Well, that's just going to be 7 lots of A. And the same rules apply when we're using surds, so that would just be 7 lots of root 3. So we can do the same thing with subtraction as we would do with addition. 6 lots of root 2 take away 5 lots of root 2 would just be 1 lot of root 2. I'm just going to write that as root 2. Again here, 10 lots of root 7 plus another lot of root 7. Well, if I had 10a plus a, that would be 11a, so that's exactly the same concept here. And so it's just 11 root 7. So with these ones, we can put together the things that are the same. So these are root 15. So those two things can go together. So I've got 3 root 15 minus 2 root 15, which will give me 1 lot of root 15. Then I can put together 4 root 7 with plus 3 root 7. And that will give me 7 lots of root 7. So I've got root 15 and I've got 7 root 7. But I can't put these two things together because, like having a plus 7b, you wouldn't put those together. And it's the same thing with surds. So 23 root 13 is going to go with minus 25 root 13 to give me minus 2 root 13. And then I've got 27 root 2 plus another 2 root 2, which will be 29 root 2. And again, I'm not going to put those two things together because they're completely different things. This time is a little bit more complicated. We need to simplify these surds. We're not going to call that square root of 60. We can't put those two things together, but we can simplify them. So the square root of 48 will be made up of the square root of 16 times by the square root of 3. And over on the other side, the square root of 12 is going to be made up of the square root of 4 times by the square root of 3. So simplify all the things we know in there. So we've got 4 root 3. I'm going to add that to that as 2 root 3. Now I've got them of the same form, they're both square root of 3. I can just add those two things together. So I'm going to get 6 lots of root 3. Again, I can't put these two together, so I simplify them down. Square root of 96. Well, 96 is the square root of 16 times by the square root of 6. And I'm taking away from that the square root of 6. I can't simplify the square root of 6 because there's no square number that goes into it. So I simplify this one. I know what the square root of 16 is. That's 4. So it's 4 root 6. Take away root 6. And again, that's 4 lots of a take away a would be 3a, so exactly the same concept. That must be 3 lots of root 6. Okay, and again, you need to simplify both of these before subtracting. So the square root of 98 would be square root of 49 times by the square root of 2. I'm going to take away from that the square root of 4 times by the square root of 2. Which is what I get when I simplify the square root of 8. So sort out the bits you know. I know that is 7. I don't know what the square root of 2 is, so I leave it as a surd. And then I'm going to do square root of 4, which is 2 root 2. Now they are both simplified, they're both of the same form, they're both root 2. I can just subtract them. So 7 lots of root 2 take away 2 lots of root 2 gives me 5 lots of root 2. This is one of the more difficult situations where things have actually got to be simplified first before you can add them. Obviously I can't add root 75 and root 27 together, but I can simplify them further because there are square numbers that go into 75 and 27. So I'm going to pull this one apart. So that's 5 times by, and if I split up the square root of 75, I could do that into the square root of 25 times by the square root of 3. And then on the other side, I've got that 3 still, and I'm timesing that by what will be the square root of 9 times by the square root of 3. Now let's just pull out all the things that we know in here. So we've got 5 times by the square root of 25 is 5, times by the square root of 3, and I'm adding to that 3 times by the square root of 9, which is 3, times by root 3. So let's put all the numbers that we again know in together. I've got 5 times 5 in here, so that's just going to be 25 root 3, and I'm going to add to that 3 times 3 on the other side is it's just going to be 9 root 3. So now I've just got to put those two bits together. 25 root 3 plus 9 root 3 will give me 34 lots of the square root of 3.